This is John Brass from RunMichigan.com talking to Keith Hanson, who was at the Twin Cities Marathon over the weekend and 10-mile USA Championships with some of the runners up there. And can you list who was running the marathon, who was running the 10-mile?
Absolutely. We had Melissa White-Johnson run the marathon and got third place, but competed really well. Had a real good chance to win that, but finished third. And then we had on the men's side in the 10-mile championships, we had Jake Riley also get third in his debut at that distance in a 47:20. And we had Kobe Lowe run 47:50. Jeremy Crisoni, who's out of Florida, was 10th place, just ahead of Kobe Lowe. And Robert Scribner was 49:20. And then the women's side, Ariana Hilborn ran a 57:50 to finish, I believe, 13th in the women's championship.
So were you pleased with everybody's finishes up there?
Absolutely. No, I mean it's we're thrilled with it's Kobe's first race out, and he ran spectacular, and certainly Jake continues to impress. It's his second competition with us, and he ran 13:58 at the US 5K Championships not too long ago, and he's hoping to make the Chief Ekiden team to compete over in November 23rd over in Japan. Would be on the same team with Neely Spence, hopefully. Certainly Ariana Hilborn ran, I think, about 30 seconds faster than she ran last year before she was with us at that 10-mile race. Robert Scribner is getting more and more fit each time out. And then we also, I mentioned Jake Riley running 47:20. So, and Melissa had a very courageous race. She went out and competed for the win and ran maybe about 10 yards behind a group of 4 East Africans till about 19 miles when she caught them and broke up their pack and pulled away basically. But there was another runner from Faber, who runs for the BAA, who was kind of stalking Melissa the whole time and finished her last 2 miles very strong and ended up winning the marathon. But I thought Melissa did a great job of doing everything right to get a chance to win, but just couldn't finish off those last couple of miles. But still very proud of her effort, and it was a new experience for her to race for a win in a marathon.
And what were the conditions, weather conditions?
It was 28 degrees at race start out there, but it was sunny, so it was 28 degrees. Actually, I kind of liked it because, in all honesty, it's something that, knowing Melissa was competing against East African runners, and they're not real fond of those sort of temperatures. We kind of liked that it was a little bit cooler out there. But it was a 28-degree day, and it was sunny, and it maybe warmed up into the low 30s, but it was with the bright sun and no wind, or what little wind there was more of a tailwind than a headwind. It really was not uncomfortable out there. Obviously, I didn't run, I'm spectating, but I think, talking to the runners, nobody really felt that the cold was, at least for our athletes, a big factor.
Cool. And I know that's it's a pretty neat course up there for Twin Cities Marathon, and I ran it last year, so I know. And a little tough finish too, coming up from the river. It's definitely got a little bit of a hill there, right towards the finish. So
it's a beautiful course, and you've got a little bit of rolling throughout the whole course, which I think is sometimes an advantage. Obviously, a race like Chicago tends to run a little faster because it's completely flat. But I think that sometimes the undulating course, using different muscle groups are out there, and there can be some advantages in that respect too. So, Stony Creek Metro Park, where we do a lot of our training, rolls just like that Twin Cities course does. So we're well prepared for the type of course that we're running on.
Cool. What's up next for some of your athletes?
Well, we'll have a few athletes that are going to go over to run at the Chief Ekiden, hopefully. I know that Neely Spence for sure is running that November 23rd. We also have both Neely and Jake running in the 5K at New York City that's held before the marathon. There's a ridiculously strong field with 17 Olympians between the men and women that are running in that race. But both Jake and Neely will run that. I think there's a 15K that we will run in Tulsa with Kobe. Went to Oklahoma State, so it's kind of back. He's from Texas, but went to Oklahoma State. That's kind of back in his neck of the woods. And we have Aaron Richard running the Marine Corps Marathon coming up here at the end of the month.
Okay, great. All right, Keith. Well, thank you very much for the interview today. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, John.